If you are someone who's been trying to figure out ways to style your thin hair so it doesn't look flat, so it doesn't look over processed, if your part feels like it's getting wider every single day, if you panic when you see your scalp in selfies, if you've tried hair treatments like the vitamins, the gummies, red light, oiling, PRP, copper peptides, or a variety of other very expensive methods to make your hair thicker and nothing seems to be helping, maybe you've wondered what styling products actually work. Is there a trick to helping your hair look thicker and longer? Maybe you've considered doing extensions or a hair transplant or even a wig and wondered, like, what's the right way to do this? Like, how do I figure this out? Like, how do I not spend a fortune and just get my confidence back? And why are we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about the fact that as women, like, our hair makes us feel feminine. It makes us feel young. It's not a vanity thing, or maybe it is. I don't know. All I know is long hair don't care. And most of this is not mine. I mean, it is mine because I paid for it. And it's so weird to think that, like, most of this was growing on somebody else's head. And I'm going to share with you all of my secrets, all of my tips, because yeah, hair matters. In fact, the founder of one of my favorite companies that is the perfect solution, whether you've got thinning hair or just you're trying to grow out your gray, or maybe you're in between appointments and you've got roots and you're like, I just don't know what to do. Today, I'm sitting down with Jess Hallock. She is the founder of Ensemble Hair. And I love this girl. I found her after watching some TikToks and I'm like, I need this solution in my life. And of course, as always, I do my research for you and then I bring all the answers because I do not gatekeep. Here we share all of the secrets. Girl, you are in luck because your thin-haired girlfriend has figured out a whole bunch of tricks, and I'm going to share them all with you today. Jess Hallock, founder of Ensemble Hair. I've got so many questions, and I think a lot of women they want to play with hair. They want to explore these options, but they don't know where to start. And they're afraid they're going to waste money, and they're afraid that people are going to know that they're wearing, quote, fake hair. So can we start by first breaking down what's the difference between a wig and a topper, a halo? What are these things?
Yes, I feel like a lot of people get lost in just the verbiage and what things are called. And so there's different categories. A wig is when you want to cover everything. It also doesn't have any attachments. It's just slipped over your head. So for some people that can feel like a lot, some people that's, exactly what they need. And then a topper would be still working with your hair. So there's always clips involved with the topper. You can get a full transformation out of it, but it just has a little more limitations because we're working with your hair. And then a halo has no clips at all. And it's just going to come forward above your ears and give you some fullness and length. And then a ponytail piece, self-explanatory. Clip-ins are a little more modular. You can place them where you want them. That's all the different categories.
Do you have some of those here that we can take a look at?
I'm wearing one.
Okay, you're wearing one what?
I'm wearing a halo. So my hair, I just like to get a little more fullness. So it comes forward just above my ear and then swings forward to give me fullness from my face and then gives me some length.
Never in a million years would I guess that.
Surprise. That's the best compliment.
Perfect.
Thank you. So a lot of people are just wanting fullness, and that's usually when they reach for a halo or length. Yeah. And that's what I brought was different length options too. So this is like full glam, 22-inch. Call me a Barbie. I'm loving it.
So you could put that in your hair? Is that matched to you?
Yes. This one is, and that's the fun part too, is when you start to build up a collection, which I know you have a lot of hair, you can get a lot of variety. So within parameters of what your hair is, you can build up a whole collection of different little tweaks in color, cut, stuff like that.
This one is, again?
This is a halo.
A halo. Can you show us how it attaches?
Yes. Okay. So no clips on this one. So this is not damaging whatsoever. This is a great starter piece. So there's only a hook with the wires. You can change how it fits on your head. You can make it tighter or looser. And then it just slips on your head like around the crown. You part it like a halo and then put your hair over it.
Okay. And then what is a top? What does a topper look like?
A topper has clips on it.
Okay.
So we do have 3 different sizes of toppers. This is our full topper. So there's 4 clips. This is a 5 by 6 inch cap.
Okay.
And it's hand tied. So it can still.
What does that mean, hand tied?
Hand tied is the best quality. So it's the most natural coming out of the head. So even if your hair is really, really fine, it comes up and then down. So if you're doing a machine sewn piece, it's more flat. Some people are drawn to that because it's flat, but it doesn't look as natural. We do have that option, but this is my favorite.
Let me back you up just a little bit because this is so new for a lot of us. One of my girlfriends, I sent you a picture.
Yes.
She bought a topper, which she was really excited about. But when she puts it on her head, it like puffs up and you just don't see scalp. So it looks fake.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see this on camera. You can see through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So having that natural part line makes a really big difference because a lot of us are coming with thinner hair. And so any new density is going to seem like a lot. So you can also pluck some hairs out of the part line. I know they do that at wig shops. But this usually is enough that people still feel like, I can see my scalp. This still feels like me. And then you can either place this right on your hairline or you can set it a little further back. So it really depends on the client's needs.
Okay.
But if it's sticking straight up, that could be how it was cut. It could be how many return hairs are on it. It's a whole world of things. And that's kind of the hardest part when we're consulting is I don't want people to get stuck in the weeds of the details of the piece and more just like, what am I trying to accomplish?
So this part, if somebody goes back and forth between like a middle part and a side part or changes their part, can they do that with a topper?
Yep. You just mist it down with a spray bottle, repart it, and then
So
blow
the
dry
whole
it
thing
in
is
that way.
rooted?
Yeah.
Can you separate the hairs?
We do it this way. So that's our specialty is we customize them. So we root the whole piece throughout so that you can change the part, you could braid it, so that you're still getting that consistent color throughout.
So it's probably important to say everything that we're talking about, toppers, wigs, hair extensions, clip-ins, we're generally describing what they are and how they work. But every company and manufacturer has a different process. So basically what we're sharing today is the way you create them at Ensemble. And you've got a very special technique, and that part of that is helping women to feel more confident because it looks more natural.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're looking for extensions in any other circumstance, you're just shopping by yourself. And a lot of people don't know exactly what they're looking for. They see, I love that color, but maybe that's not exactly what your hair looks like. Or I love the fullness of that, but as soon as I put it on you, it wouldn't feel like you. So having that personal shopper to help you figure out which piece, that's what we specialize in. So we do this virtual consult, which we're the only business that does that. So we take your consultation and then we customize based off of those pictures, the conversation, what your needs were, and then we do it in salon and ship them out.
You said that there's two different sizes of a topper. So I learned about toppers the first time when I was shooting fitness videos, and my makeup artist had a lot of experience doing like, Hollywood shows, etc. And she was like, every single actress is wearing a topper. I'm like, what is a topper? And she was just, and I'm like, why would they? And she goes, it's just your hair, but better. It's not a wig. It just looks so much thicker, so much fuller. So what's the difference? You said that you have two different sizes. Does that mean, is that based on the size of your head?
That's coverage. So the first indicator of size is the cap size. So this is, in any brand, this would be considered a large cap, so full coverage. And then we have two smaller ones. So one that's just an inch shorter, an inch more narrow. And then we have a mini, which could be for a bang piece. You could do just spot coverage, just want to make your part line a little thicker. So there's more options. And again, it's just what the client wants.
Okay, so women who start to experience hair loss because of hormones, that is one of their major concerns.
Yeah.
I'm losing hair around the outlines of my, my hairline, like almost like male pattern baldness, or they're getting that widening of the part. And their biggest fear is doing extensions because they're like, I don't have any more hair I can't risk damaging my hair further. Yeah. So I guess my first question is, with a topper, who is that? Someone who's a really good candidate, someone who's got hormonal hair loss?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about hair loss over the years and like kind of understanding the different patterns to know like, is this going to make it worse? Is this going to keep progressing or not? So knowing that is also helpful. But if someone, let's say, is really far along in loss, then there's topper bands that you can attach to. So you don't have to actually attach it to your own hair. You would need to be looking at a full coverage option, but it just sits right here and it has little slits in it so that you can clip and attach to the band and not your natural hair.
So it's almost like a headband. Is that what you're saying?
So you can get them on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's just like a half headband. So it goes around, but then it's a like mesh that goes over here, and then just with some attachment spots that you could clip this to instead of your natural hair.
So that there's no tension.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say most people aren't at that point. And this isn't going to cause, if you wore this chronically every single day, I can't say that it won't, but ideally it's not going to cause any more damage because it's not hanging. Whereas a clip-in and you're attaching it here has more tension on it because of the weight of the hair. But because this is on top of the head, it just doesn't feel the same way. But if that was your concern, you could get a topper band and still wear it with.
Why would somebody want to do a halo versus a track of hair extensions?
A lot of reasons. Maintenance is the main one, just because you're going in for more upkeep. It's a much bigger investment long-term to do
hair extensions.
Totally, which I know you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, people,
and time. Oh my God. Like when I go to a hair extension appointment now that I'm as high maintenance as you can possibly get, there is not a floor higher than my maintenance floor. But it's like a 6-hour appointment. I mean, I can work, but time is money.
Totally. I mean, I had my own salon, so I was getting my own done. And even then I'm like, this is too much. I need a halo. I can throw it in, throw it out. And then with working out, I didn't necessarily want all of the hair, or I just wanted it in a certain spot. I just wanted flexibility. So people, when they're considering the permanent ones over temporary, they just want options and they want their time back. So quality wise, at Ensemble, we are using the same quality as the permanent extensions that go in your head so that it does last a long time and it can handle being custom colored. Which usually that's what you're losing when you go to a DIY style extension, is the quality isn't as great, but ours are.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for the girls. When this is 100 years ago when I was dating my husband, so he was my boyfriend at the time, fiance, whatever you want to say. You want to go to bed cute and you want to wake up cute. You don't want to be like a bait and switch.
Yeah.
So for that girl who's like, I want to go to bed with a full head of hair and I want to wake up with a full head of hair. Can she sleep in any of these options?
She could. I wouldn't recommend it. That's kind of the point, is that you can take them out. I do have some clients that are like, oh, I wake up and I put that thing in and my husband does not know. I'm like, good for you.
Wow. Okay.
So it's possible. But the point is to not have to do it. So you take them out at night, you take them out when you swim, shower, and that's the trade-off.
I would think it would save a ton of time if you so right now I've got, a track of hair extensions in.
Yep.
So to blow dry it takes forever.
Yeah, and most people, when their natural hair, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Or they can do a lot less styling. Like where your hair is actually falling, you might just need to do a round brush blow dry. You don't need like curls and put a lot of heat on your hair. Let the extension do most of the work.
Okay. Now let's talk about the clip-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody want to use clip-ins versus a halo?
They want a specific area. So if you're wanting just coverage right in the front, or I've seen people use clip-ins to make ponytail pieces. If they're more modular, they're an addition to other pieces. Or if there's just like, this is really just my concern is these front areas and nothing else, then it's nice to have a more modular option.
I went several years with no hair extensions, but I would wear clip-ins like just on the sides.
Yeah.
And I wore them in the same spot over and over and over again until I started like losing my hair there. Then I did a copper peptide, most painful. I would rather give birth with no epidural.
Oh my gosh.
It was super painful, but it did help the hair grow back. And then since then, now I'm like, okay, now I realize I have to move things around. But I think for a lot of women, their fear is doing more damage.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the woman who is like very much a beginner. She's a brand new baby when it comes to hair extensions. And she comes to you and she's like, I don't know. I just want to feel like more glamorous, more feminine. Mm-hmm. Where are you going to start her?
So we usually start with just fullness. They're not usually looking for a lot of length yet. They just want to feel better, enhance what I already have. Mm-hmm. So our halos, we have 3 different thicknesses. And one of them we call the natural, because it's just a little bit of hair. So it's great for someone who's just starting. We also have our mini topper, which I usually push people to that if they're just stepping into the topper world, because you can add on to it. You can put 2.
The mini topper, that's the one that you said you could cut bangs in, right?
You can cut bangs. You could turn it and just get like a light veil over your part, or you can put 2 together. If someone's like, okay, I like this, I'm comfortable with it, I want to add on.
I want one. This sounds so fun.
They're really fun to work with, but they're really small. So for someone who's like, I don't want to have a full transformation, it's a great piece. So I usually push them to a halo because I know it's going to cause no damage and it's just beginner, it's easy. And then if they're like, but I want to try a topper, then we go the mini and then decide if we want to go full topper after that. People usually have a collection after a while.
So let's talk price. Start us off at the very base. Like, what's the least expensive?
The least,
and I just mean generally, not necessarily with Ensemble, like in general.
well, industry-wide, it really ranges. I will say in the halo category, there's a wide range because you have a lot more variety and quality. A topper really doesn't look great unless it's a certain quality. So the prices don't range as much. So halos, you'll find a halo for, gosh, I mean, $40 on Amazon.
Is that real hair?
I mean, no.
Okay. So
No.
maybe we should back up before we talk about price. How do you, like when you're buying something on Amazon, because I mean, that's my whole thing. It's like so much on Amazon is counterfeit and they're saying it's something that it's not. I don't know if this is true for hair too, but if it says human hair, does that always mean the whole thing is human hair?
I wouldn't depend on that because it's not like a regulated term. It's an easy catchphrase and people don't know much about it to even Remy. When they see Remy, that doesn't always mean that it's.
What does Remy mean?
Remy means human hair, but they'll use one of the two terms. So you can't depend on that 100%.
Can they say human hair even though it's mixed with synthetic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would shop the brand. I would look at their website. I would look at reviews. I would do your due diligence for sure.
By the way, if you're enjoying this episode with Jess and you love hearing about all these secrets, do you know that I've done 2 previous episodes sharing like tons of other crazy beauty secrets? Like the fact that right now I am wearing tape that's giving me like an $8 facelift. My face is not this snatched. I mean, it will be at some point. At some point, I'm going to get a facelift, and I'm obviously going to take you with me. I cannot wait. But right now, she's taped back. And I've got so many other little hidden gems, like little things. Maybe you don't want to do it every day, but you're like, ooh, that's nice to have in my back pocket in case I'm going to a wedding or whatever else. I share all of those secrets, and you can check out those videos. But before you do that, in order to have good karma, the next time you pull into a busy parking lot and you want to find a parking spot right up front, you know what you need to do? You need to make sure you're subscribed to The Chalene Show. So click that little subscribe button, and then you'll see below in our show description, I've got a link to those other great videos where I share all of my beauty hacks. All right, Jess has got a few more tips for us. Let's get back to it. Again, even the reviews on Amazon, people, like sometimes you think, oh, I can trust this brand because it has, whether it's vitamins or makeup or hair, it has thousands and thousands of reviews.
Yeah.
But they're paid. A lot of them, people are sent the product in exchange for a 5-star review. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Ensemble Hair. If I'm working with you specifically, what is the least expensive option for me to start with?
The least expensive would be clip-ins because you can choose how much hair you're wanting. So if you just wanted your little frontals, that's $100. If you wanted to add on to a full set, it can go up to $500. If you want to do a halo starts at $500 and goes up to almost $1,000 depending on how long, how thick, the coloring style. So it really ranges.
Most people are buying them online, right? So how do you not waste money buying something that does not match?
That's why I wholeheartedly believe in what we do, because you need that personal shopper experience with a stylist. So there are some brands that you can just buy online, and it's really up to your own discretion. They usually have like a really easy exchange policy. They're not too, because it's not customized to you. So they're like, yeah, I mean, here's swatches. Our pieces have so many colors in them, and the placement of color matters that we don't have just swatches to send. So if you're shopping online, you're just looking for something that's similar in the picture that looks like you. It's really it's a gamble, honestly.
We have all blondes here.
I know.
I know we brought things that match your color mainly, but is there what about grays?
That is the one color we're working on.
It's hard.
It is because true white doesn't have any pigment, which makes it weak. And so an extension piece that you expect to last at least a year, you want it to be somewhat strong. So making a gray blend is actually a blend of like a platinum and a black and a dark brown. And so finding blends that work for a lot of people is tricky because when you start to gray, the pattern is unique to you. So I haven't made that blend yet, but there are brands that I recommend. They're just more generic.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about anything else? Like somebody who's got pink hair, purple hair.
Yeah. Anything else, we can make it.
Red hair.
Yep. Love reds. I was red for a minute, so I feel like reds are near and dear to my heart. Like a ginger, an auburn, like so many fun colors. But you wouldn't get that if you were looking anywhere online. You'd have to be like, maybe I wear this piece, I mix it with that one, have my stylist color it.
I would assume that is one of the bonuses of being able to wear the pieces is you can experiment with other colors without damaging your own hair. Like you can go lighter without and for someone who, I'm just like thinking of all these ideas, someone who's trying to grow out their color and they don't like that in between stage. Like maybe they really want to go all gray, but that like, giant strip of white is super unattractive, or they're in between.
Yep.
Like you can't get into your stylist this week. You could just throw a topper on, right?
That's how COVID was.
Oh, yeah.
That is what made everything just take off, at least for our business, because we couldn't get into our stylist and everyone who had like tracks in couldn't get them moved up. So yeah, perfect explanation.
For me, the topper, the reason why the stylist that I worked with, a makeup artist, when I was filming fitness videos, is we had to have continuity. That means we would start the warm up, your hair is dry, your clothes are dry, your body's dry, and then you're doing like 45 minutes of full tilt hit training and you're gushing with sweat. And now we realize we have to go back to the beginning and refilm like the first 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And so for continuity's sake, we did lots of little tricks so that it didn't take hours and hours and hours for all the women to get ready again. And one of them was a hair topper. So that way my hair always looked the same. People would always say like, how come your hair isn't sopping? Like you're dripping with sweat. How come your hair isn't wet? So a couple of things. Number one is I did Botox in my head so that I wouldn't sweat as much.
I never
Still
thought of
sweat.
that.
Yep. And the other thing that I did was I wore a hair topper. Not in all of them, but a lot of them, especially if it was going to be like, hours of like wet hair.
Yeah.
So for me, like I'm really excited you're going to make me a custom topper.
Yes.
I'm excited to have a custom topper so that I don't have to wash my hair all the time.
Yeah. It's great. It's great for traveling. It's great for like my hair's dirty. I just don't feel like washing it today. I want to feel like myself.
Fresh out of the salon.
Yeah. I'm in between color services. Like you said, I don't want to see the gray coming in, or I'm in between colors and I don't love the color I am at the moment. So this gives me an option. I have clients who have sets of just tons of different color. Like they have an auburn set, they have a brunette set, they have a blonde set just for fun. And they'll pair it with a halo. So it's wig-like coverage. And they get full transformations. It's fun.
So if I am deciding it's winter and I want to go warmer, but I have invested in a hair topper or whatever pieces, and I want them, like, can these be colored?
They can always be taken darker.
Okay.
We just can't bleach them. It'll compromise the integrity of the hair. But I always tell people we can tone them. We can add more dimension. We can, as long as the hair is still in good shape, then it can handle a color service, and we still offer that.
Someone like me who is I'm certified in hairspray. I'm a professional. Like, do not try this at home. You have to be a lady from the 80s to officially be certified in hairspray, like Aquanet and White Rain. So my hair is not healthy, and I'm in a toxic relationship with my hair, and I am the abuser. And so my hair is just like submissive. I just like mold it into shape and then I hairspray it. And I would want to, like, with a topper, I think, kind of like blend that together and hairspray it.
You can. When you spray extensions, it's going to dry it out over time.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind, because what makes hairspray work is the alcohol in it. So it will dry out the hair itself. But you're dealing with a lot more hair on a topper that we can cut shorter layers like we did into this one. And you can connect it. So it's kind of pre-styled in a way that you like. A little bit goes a long way with products. So you can definitely use, I recommend more of a light texture spray or really flexible hairspray, because this will respond better than your natural hair just because of the density.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do as much to make it work.
Okay. But then how do you need to wash, and like, how do you care for, that's the question. How do you care for these pieces that you're investing in?
So you still have to wash them, but the toppers, like once every 6 weeks. Depending on how much product you're using. If you like it styled in a certain way, I get a head form, so you can just pin it down and keep it styled that way. It'll make it easier. And then the halos, you will wash every 12 to 16 weeks. It's much less.
Again, it would depend on the product, right?
Yeah. And these, because they're mixed in with your hair, it'll hold a loose wave, no problem. You can wear these straight too, by the way.
Oh. So you can take a straightening iron to it. You can take a curling iron to it. All the heat products.
All the heat products. Keep the heat below like 325, but it'll respond well to it. We're here in Florida and it's still doing great. So I feel a lot better.
So when someone has washed theirs
Mhm.
and now they want to, blow dry and style them. How do you do, like, do I need special tools? Like, how would I blow dry this? Like, would I have to hold it?
So we include a hanger. It's like a pant hanger. Actually, I have one back
Okay. Oh,
here.
perfect.
So you include a hanger and you'll just kind of hang it on your like your towel rack or your drawer and then attach the halo to it and you'll just blow dry it in front of you. I always say just let it air dry almost all the way and then blow dry it smooth at the end and then take your curling iron or flat iron and style it just like you would. Easy peasy. But I have lots of videos. That's the other thing too. So you don't feel like you're lost trying to figure it out yourself.
So for a woman who's just not good with hair, it's like the woman who's not great at putting on her own lashes. Does she have to, do you have to have a special, like, can anyone learn how to blend them and make them look good?
Yeah. And if that's a big concern, then just tell me like I don't know if I can do this the right way or whatever. And that helps me pick the right piece for you. So I'd pick something that maybe wasn't super long or really, really thick or something or a color that we don't have to try hard to make it blend. Like you have a lot of colors going on in your hair. Let's pick something that's more dimensional so you're not worrying about making it perfect. So again, in that consultation, it helps me pick out the right piece because you don't need to do much. You could rough dry it any way that you know how. You could, people have curly hair too. So you can diffuse it. It does have a natural wave. So you can let it air dry and just add a couple touch up curls, pretty much whatever you would do to your hair.
So what if your hair texture is really curly and you like to wear it naturally?
Yeah, if it's a tight curl, I try to mimic that curl. So last time we'll use the chopstick curling iron and make it just really tight. And because you don't have to wash it that often, I'm like, you're going to have to restyle it that way. Or you can ship it back to us and we'll restyle it and send it back to you.
Oh.
Yeah, lots of options. But because you don't have to wash it often, it'll hold the style that you do. So curly hair, it holds really well. But we can't pick a different texture.
Okay.
They come in the wavy texture.
You're not perming one of these pieces.
No.
And they don't, I would assume it's really, really expensive to get hair that's naturally curly.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just like your own hair, if it's really curly, it's really brittle. So that's the main concern with extensions is when we get to that hair type that it might not last as long because it goes through a lot of like wear and tear. So we just go with a medium texture and then we can style that look.
I don't want to ask this question, but my ADHD is not allowing me to think about anything else. Where is this hair coming from? Who is this woman that has this gorgeous, gorgeous hair? Like, why is there so much hair?
It's a whole industry. It doesn't really happen in the US. I have to tell you that. So if you're like, is it Brittany down the street who's got a whole business going? No, it happens all over the world. People will sell their hair. They'll cut it and sell it. And then those will get picked up at a factory level. And then it gets sorted by hair type and then baseline color. And then it's colored from there. It's this whole other industry. So people all over. Russia, European countries, Indian, Asian country, really all over. Because they're trying to get a variety of hair types so that the hair looks the most realistic. Because if someone's a brunette, most likely this is the texture it's going to take on. So they pick a hair ethnicity that would be common for that color. So you kind of get a lot of the same.
Can I feel this topper?
Yeah. So this one would be European. Anything that's going to have a lot of blonde in it.
This is super fine, like mine.
Yes. Yeah. So you're not going to get a coarse
I know this isn't my color, but I want to try this on.
They're fun. I didn't know you were familiar with them.
Oh, absolutely. This really looks like a wolf cut too. I think we could make this work somehow. But like, she's cute. So my other thought was, because I've never worn a wig. I mean, I've never even like played.
Yeah.
I'd love to try a wig. It just intimidates me.
Yeah.
Right. This doesn't intimidate me. I've done it.
It's that same mentality. A lot of people are like, I thought about a wig, but it sounds
this is
like
gorgeous. Okay. So then my question is, when I have this on my head, my hair isn't getting the same oxygen, right? So is just having something on your head, is that bad for your hair and scalp?
I don't think so because it's got a breathable cap.
Oh yeah.
So I'll do some in-person consultations and people that have tried on wigs and a lot of variety and are really concerned about that, they will always comment how breathable this is. So I don't feel like I'm a good example because I don't know, but from a client's perspective, Everyone really likes it. Everyone says it's lightweight. That's another thing with a wig is that the hair is going to reach all the way back here. So if you get hot and if you're like, I don't like things on my neck, this is too much.
Or itchy.
Yeah. This isn't going to feel that way because the cap is just right up here.
Okay. I like to wear my hair in a high pony.
Yeah.
So what option, if I like a high pony, what are my options?
Well, you can still do a high ponytail with a topper.
You can.
Oh, totally. You can still pull. I have a video where I showed a few different ways to style the topper, half up, all the way back. You can do a bun. So yes, you do need to have some of your own hair to be able to pull up with it. Otherwise it'll look disconnected.
Okay.
If not, then we do have ponytail options. And I've seen people do them with clips too. That's totally an option too. It just depends on.
Can I see this one?
Yeah.
These are different?
Yeah, they're different thicknesses.
Oh,
and
this is
length.
heavy. This is
That's
nice.
our thickest option.
Okay.
So a lot of people, when they're looking at ponytails, they're like, it looks like a horsetail. We have different thickness options.
Matches me.
Hey, that actually does. Surprise. She's like meant for me.
Wow, she's so
But
pretty.
you see how we customize
This piece is darker.
the tail? Yep. And then we root it. So that looks a lot more natural coming out of someone's
Dude,
head than
so
just
much more natural.
blonde right up against,
Yeah, that's my thing is whenever I see a woman with this wrapped around, I'm
Mhm.
like, that doesn't,
It's a dead
it's a dead giveaway. Yeah,
Yeah.
So this makes it look so much more
this
natural.
helps a lot. 'Cause
Okay, so how do, maybe we'll put this in my hair. But so this has, explain to us how this attaches.
So it's just got a comb in it. And then you put your own hair in a ponytail first.
Okay, so you could go right up on top of your head?
Yeah, you could put it half up too. I've done that with like the halo below. And then you're going to slip this right in the hair tie. And then you always wrap with your left, wrap with your right. And then you can shorten this tail too if you're like, I don't want it to be so dense at the base. And then you pin it down with a bobby pin and your hair is inside of that ponytail.
What do you pin? Oh, you're pinning the tail.
Yeah, just
Okay.
the tail to secure it.
Okay.
So our really lightweight ponytails, because we have two lighter ones than these, the tail is shorter, the base is smaller. So again, if you're like, my ponytail is this big and I don't want to then put this huge ponytail coming out of it, doing a lighter weight ponytail makes it look more realistic.
Can I see this one?
Mhm.
Okay, this
That's
is
why I
definitely
love
lighter.
them.
And you have one that's even lighter than this?
Two even lighter.
Oh, that's
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Because, I've always wanted to do like the half, the half up, half down.
Yeah. Yep. And a
And
lot of
you
people
can't-
have less hair. It's
That's
just intimidating.
amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, so how much does the lightest?
The lightest one starts at 200.
Okay.
Yeah, 200, 250.
And that's custom or is
Yes.
that off the rack?
No, we customize every piece. So it will be colored and cut. So like this one, my hair has a lot of long layers. But if I was putting it on someone with shorter hair,
Yeah, like me.
I taper it a lot more. So it looks,
that looks way more real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it'll move more naturally.
How long does it take? Because I need it now. Just joking.
Well, tomorrow. About a week.
That's it?
Yep. I have a whole team at our salon that
Oh,
just
not after
does
this.
it.
Not after this video comes out, girl. We better be careful what we say
Well,
at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. Don't hold me to it.
I have a feeling
Yeah,
all my girls are going to be like, "What? You just blew my mind. I'm
it's
going
so
to be
intimidating. People are like,
phenomenally fabulous."
I want this, but I don't know where to start. I don't know. I don't want, like you said, I don't want to waste money. Like I bet if a lot of us went to Nordstrom, maybe we'd invest in the jeans that we want if they were just the right fit, the right material. And so getting that guidance with it and knowing that the quality is there is really half the battle. So
love
having this
this.
virtual consult, because also people who are starting with extensions, there's this complex that don't feel like they can wear them or that, am I too old for this? Can I do this?
Oh.
And a lot of that conversation happens in the beginning that I'm like, everybody can. And a lot of what makes people feel uncomfortable is just the fact that it wasn't customized to them. So that it doesn't look like them.
Yeah. So you don't feel confident.
Yeah.
And I've heard from so many women who have tried hair extensions, like tape-ins or tracks, whatever. And they are like, I'm confident unless I'm out in nature or the wind blows. Like, I'm so afraid that like a gust of wind is going to reveal the fact that I'm like, girl, nobody thinks that's all your hair anyways. But so
They're very secure.
can we see the back of your head?
Yes.
Like if the wind were to blow?
If the wind, that is why you want them customized.
Oh, okay.
Because if the wind were to blow, I have mine rooted
Yeah.
so that it's not nice and
Wow. Dang.
So yeah, if I were to split my
Holy
hair,
cow, that's amazing.
you can pull it up in a low to mid ponytail.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to do, the ponytail piece.
It's so pretty. Your hair is so freaking healthy.
It's come a long way.
Has wearing these pieces, is Is that helped your hair?
Yes, because when was it? Like 2005 to 12, everyone was bleaching and trying to get it white as possible and ashy toned. That was really damaging. So my hair used to be just chemically cut. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. And I don't know, everybody goes through just an emotional shift when they're in that stage. So having pieces that just give me the hair that I wanted, then it let me give my hair a break and not have to overstyle it.
Tell me about if you can remember, your favorite reaction when you were there in person and transformed somebody with their hair.
We get tears a lot. And most of my interactions are online, but that is the one thing that I don't take for granted when I see people in person, is because our motto is that we want to change the way that women see themselves. And like, I get chilled every time I say that, because it really makes a difference for women when they see what they've wanted to see in the mirror. And when you can help them get that, it's an intimate experience. And I think that's what makes me take this so seriously in my team, is because we know that, like, if we get this right, this is going to change, Luann's hair, like, and how she feels about herself. And the follow-up messages are just, it really makes a difference. But in person is a real treat because you get to see it happen.
Can someone who's going through chemotherapy, can they, what would you recommend for them?
It depends on what stage they're at. So they usually kind of know, they've been prefaced, like, this is how far it could go with hair loss. This is, just look at your options. And so we'll start usually with a halo, just because another thing that you're experiencing is inflammation on your scalp, and it can make it really sensitive.
From the treatments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes having anything attached feels like too much. So doing a halo that has no clips helps with that. And then a full topper, you can attach a full topper to hairs. You do not need a lot. It's really just dependent on what you feel comfortable with. So if they're in chemo, if their hair is starting to come back and it's short, that's okay. We can still do a full topper and a halo, get your full hair back. If you're in the middle of chemo, I would say it'll still attach fine until there's, you're considering a wig.
Yeah. Do you find that a lot of them come to you after they've spent a fortune trying just to get their hair to come back?
Yeah, either they spent a fortune on wigs and they're like, I just don't want to do the whole wig anymore. Or they've tried a lot of less expensive options and they're like, they're great, but like, it's a dead giveaway. And they're not customized. And so I don't feel like myself, even though, they could work.
Yeah. And things like, serums and surgeries, I don't know if you saw the episode I did with Dr. Dray.
I loved that episode. I have never had someone that I literally agree with everything.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll link to that below our show description. I did an episode with Dr. Dray, who's a dermatologist, and she talked a lot about just all the different things, gummies, vitamins, infrared, the serums, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Like, there's so many different treatments.
She really talks about the inside out, which is our other slogan is healthy hair is a lifestyle. And so I care a lot about people feeling confident, with the instant gratification with the hair. But I feel like what keeps our clients coming back over the years is that we put out a lot of content preaching kind of the same thing of just you try to lower inflammation in your body, and that really helps your hair, and you change the coloring style to give your hair a break. It's just, you have to approach it from all different angles.
What I love about this option is, even if that woman is like, I want my own hair to grow thick again, it's not going to happen overnight, if at all, right? And it's very expensive. It's time consuming. It takes a long time. And in the meantime, your hair is still thin and disappointing. So you put so much product in it. You do all these things to it. So you're almost like minimizing the things that you're spending money on to make it thicker, because you're damaging it by trying to make it look thicker.
It's a vicious cycle.
Right? It's a cycle. But this kind of solves that. Like, this allows you to, like, okay, let's wear this while it's in repair, which made me just realize, like, I never oil my hair, but I hear everybody talking about it.
It's good.
Okay. The reason why I never oil it is because could I oil it and wear a topper?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the topper's going to cover everything. So you could place it, like, I'll just show you. You could place it a little further back. If you're like, I still like to see my hair sitting in front, then you can place it further back. If you
obviously that's not your color, but
obviously not.
But you could almost blend that one. That's the thing with blondes. It's like
As long as the tone is right, as long as we're in the right family. And then the other option, most people will place it right on their hairline like this. And then they'll grab a halo that fills in the whole bottom part. So then it doesn't matter what your hair looks like underneath.
That's so
doesn't matter if it's super dirty or anything. Yeah. They're really
I want
fun.
a topper. I want a topper. I want a topper. So fun. Okay. So let's play. I want to see if you can, if you're okay with it. Can we like just play around and see all the different things we can do?
Totally.
Awesome. Okay. I need you to teach me your ways.
Okay. It's this easy. So I wanted to leave it in just so you could see what it would look like at night when you're like, when you want to take your bra off at night.
Is that what it feels like?
You just let it go.
Your natural hair is gorgeous.
Thank you. I've worked really hard for it. I promise you it was a lot shorter and these got me through it.
I mean,
but yeah.
I want to play with it. It's so soft and beautiful. And it matches the texture. Okay.
Yes.
So you took it out. Now show me how to put this in.
I feel like I could be a spy, when you need to do a quick change in the car and you don't have much.
Okay. So you just went like an inch behind your bangs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then you're just going to part it.
And your hair is very fine, obviously.
It's a fine texture. I just have a good amount of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put on a different one just to keep things interesting.
Fun. Okay, so it's got like a little, almost like a fish wire.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, so can I feel that?
Other brands will have stretchy.
And it's not stretchy.
No, and that makes it more secure and more comfortable throughout the day.
I've worn one that was stretchy, and it drove me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how secure this feels on your head.
Okay, so this is Ensemble. Okay, let's see.
Yes, and it just has little hooks on it, so you can tighten it if you like it to fit different, because people are like, my head's big, my head's small.
Okay.
So we can adjust it. And then you're going to pull it around the back of you, and I have lots of tutorials on how to do this really slowed down.
Okay, so you wrapped it about an inch behind the front of your hair.
Yep, I just placed it.
And you just use a little clip to pull your hair up.
Just get it out of the way.
Got it.
And then you're not going to push it down. It really is just secure like that.
What do you mean you're not going to push it down?
A lot of people want to grab it and go like this.
Yeah.
And just like, this.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't, because then at the end of the day, it feels like your head's just being squeezed.
Okay.
So
that
just place it on your head. It'll find its own little groove. Yep. And then this comb is always included, and you just comb over the wire like that. Use the tail, whatever's easier. And you're going to brush.
Yeah, because see, like right now I can see where that little wire is.
So you're going to brush the hair over.
Oh.
And because if you can see the wire, it's because there's just little hairs tucked into it because it's clear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now it's gone.
And then we also always include a brush so that you can brush your hair with it. And we do pre-style it before we ship it to you.
Dang, look at all that growth.
Overnight.
She's been doing her hair vitamins.
Give me a commercial.
That's probably what they're doing on TikTok.
Oh, that's absolutely what they're doing. Yeah, everything's just a catfish.
You're right.
It's a bummer, honestly.
I'm here for it, though.
Yeah.
I'm one big catfish.
But you could have
I love this. Point. Okay, so now with this topper in, can I part it down, put a part in the middle and do double braids?
So you can, just when you're working with extensions, you got to keep in mind of where they're at. So like right now, this one's sitting pretty low on me. So if I wanted to do 2 braids, I'd probably tighten the wire so it sat a little higher up on my head.
Okay.
But still, you can, here's a good example.
You can't see in the back. That's amazing.
You can twist. Let's say you want to do a side braid style. You just twist the halo to the side, bring it all over to the side, and you can do a braid. You could twist it up into, a bun with a hat. You can definitely wear hats with these. They're not going to get in the way.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, there's lots of versatility. I feel like a lot of people got into halos when they were doing just bridal, just want a little more glam.
Oh.
But now they look a lot more natural. They've come a long way.
So let me ask about the woman who, like, for example, I'm thin here.
Yes.
So a halo doesn't come that far forward, right?
No, it's going to come just above my ear.
The front of the ear, okay.
And then swing forward. So sitting behind your hair is a big difference. You're not going to see coverage in the front, but if it can come above your ear or slightly forward, you'll get the fullness in the front. And then also, if someone has a lot of thinning in the front, we'll do single clip-ins. and just clip it to the wire. So it doesn't have to attach to your hair. You just clip one here or clip
My
one.
mind is blown.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to actually be attaching to your fragile temple hairs. You can just put it on the wire like that. And then get, a little bit more coverage coming forward. So also if you have really thick, blunt fronts, that's really nice to connect.
Okay. With this halo in, can you wear a high pony?
You can wear low to mid. High ponytail, we want to switch to a ponytail piece.
Okay.
But you can do a low to mid ponytail. You can just pull it up to where the weft is.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, which a lot of people like. If you're going to the gym, though, you're probably not doing that. You like a high ponytail.
Okay, so
I could show you that.
Are you comfortable doing that on camera? Okay. Better you than me. Okay.
My videos, I pretty much am demoing all the time.
That's so fun.
Okay.
Now, this does not have clips.
No clips.
Is there a reason why you would want clips?
I feel like it's mental. Like some people are like, especially if they come from hand-tied wefts, they're like, I've always had it attached to my hair, that they'll want clips just so they just feel the security. We call them, like, I'll tell people you can add a clip over the wire and it's kind of like training wheels. So you get used to it.
I see. Yeah.
You won't need it.
And the only reason why you would need it is if you're in a girl fight.
Yes.
And she grabs you by the hair.
You're going upside down.
And you're
maybe
like,
we need clips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like I have people that are like, it's for a wedding. I want to be dancing. The last thing I want is it coming out.
That would be so funny.
That'd be horrifying. So would not put you in that situation.
It would go viral.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to put the pony in.
Yes. So the ponytail.
So are you going to do the heavy one or the light one first?
So this is our natural thickness. It's just longer. So the natural comes as long as a 20-inch. So if you're like, I love the Ariana Grande ponytail, but that's really thick. I need something a little more natural looking. That's why we came up with this one.
Can I ask you for my own personal reasons to put it real high?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
I love, 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 love a high pony.
So I'm going to pull mine up. And when I ask you for pictures for a ponytail, I want you to send me a picture of where you would place your ponytail. So if you are a high ponytail girl, because if you have mostly your dark hair heading into it, then we don't want a blonde piece meeting that. So if I can see how much dimension, that obviously makes a difference.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, you can use any hair tie, just not too flimsy. So at least a solid hair tie like this, or even a really slim bobble. Those are great.
Slim bobble, what's that?
So bobble comes in different thicknesses.
What's a bobble?
Bobble's a brand. So have you those like cork?
Yeah,
they look like a key ring. Yeah. So they have hair ties like that, and they have different thicknesses.
Okay.
So the slim one is nice.
Okay.
Okay. And then this has a comb right in the front, and this is going to slip into my hair tie like this.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wrap.
Okay.
Okay. Let me turn sideways.
Yeah. I'm going to move this for you.
So you're going to place, I just slip it into that hair tie.
Okay, so you just stuck the comb right in the top of, like, into the rubber band or the hair tie. Okay.
Yep. Some people will stick it like and jam their scalp. Don't do that. Just slip it into the hair tie.
It's just holding it.
Yes. If you have very thin hair, you can make your hair into just a little bun. So you have a little stronger of a base.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You'll always wrap from your left, and then the tail will always be on your right.
Okay.
And you wrap on your right. You'll feel it connect because it's just Velcro. And then you have this tail.
Okay.
And so you wrap the tail. Ta-da!
Dude.
You can have whatever hair you want, is the point.
Do you need a bobby pin or do you have one?
Yeah, I don't have one with me. But
I'm going to grab you a bobby pin. Don't go anywhere.
Okay. A hairpin would work too.
Will this work?
Yeah.
She has a bobby pin.
And it will come with a bobby pin. So don't worry about that.
If you don't have a bobby pin, are you even really a girl?
I know. I feel like, okay, I'm out of state right now.
Yes. That looks so good.
It's pretty.
That looks so natural.
Yeah, so
it's amazing.
It's not too thick.
Turn your head both ways. I want to see. Look at. That's gorgeous. That looks so good.
Yeah, so having that customized base really makes a difference, especially if you have darker hair that would go into where your ponytail is.
And you could straighten this too?
Definitely. You could braid it. You could
wear layers. So I also like, for me, this would be a dead giveaway that I was wearing a fake one. I would have to have like short layers.
A lot of tapering.
Okay.
Yep. And so if I see that you have short hair or how your hair is cut right now, I would add like short layers tapered into the rest of the ponytail.
I would like to place an order right now before everybody else does so I can get ahead.
Another
these
thing
girls.
too, I have my ponytails are a few different colors. So this color is different from the other one that I brought, and then I have an even lighter one, but it's balayaged. So if you want to get some variety in your life, we could do some different color ponytails too. Because actually, you put my other one up to you, and it almost matched you, just because it was in the same family of tones.
Yeah. So fun. I love it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I know you're dying right now. I'm going to get my order in, and then you can get yours in. For anyone who's interested in working with you, how do they do that? How do they go about working with you?
So if they want to get a consult,
Yeah.
you just go to ensemblehair.com and you'll go to click to inquire. It'll fill out a form real quick, and then I reach out to you within minutes, and you'll go through a quick questionnaire. And then you will actually get connected with me after that. You'll send me a few photos. I'll ask you a few questions about your hair and then what you're looking for with an extension. And then we decide which piece would be best if you want to do a few. And then when you place your order, it's about 4 to 5 business days of customizing. And then we ship it out. And shipping's always included. And we do serve internationally.
For the woman who is like, I don't want anyone to see what I'm dealing with my hair. Like, she's embarrassed even to send you photos and videos. Any words to help her feel normal?
Just know that you're in good company. Like we have served at this point more than 15,000 women worldwide, and everyone has a different story and a different, circumstance that they're in. Whether, I went through a major divorce and all I've had is hair loss. I've just had twins. I've just been dealing with my hormones fluctuating. I can't get my hair under control. And I don't want to say I've heard it all, but I've heard a lot. And you're actually talking to me, not some random person on a computer.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for making women feel beautiful. I love it. You're the best.